Hi everyone. I want to speak to you about your up and coming science exams. You'll find plenty of information on the school website, such as revision lists and timetables. You're going to be tested on biology, chemistry, and physics. And it's not just going to be on everything that you've learned this year. It might be on knowledge and skills from last year or even from primary school. The first thing you need to think about is how can your revision be effective? And what you need to understand is that you can only revise or revisit if you know the content that you need to have learned. And you might know certain topics, but you might feel that some topics are a little bit shaky. And if that's the case, you'll need to ask yourself some questions. And those questions are going to be things like, what is it you're unsure about? And what do you think you're really confident with? Is there anything you need to go back and revise before you start to practice? And make sure you are honest with yourself. Don't just focus on what you know. Think about the things that you learnt in lesson that you found quite tricky. And then use some time to try and see if you can understand that better. So what can you do to try and help understand the knowledge better? There's plenty of resources on Microsoft Teams in the Teams from your class. And if you're unsure about where to find that, speak to your teachers. BBC Bitesize is a great resource. And in there, there's lots and lots of content that tries to explain the information that you're studying. You might have bought a revision guide. Some students like to make flashcards or revision notes using that. And that's a great starting point. You'll also see there the link to Continuity Oak. And at that website, you will find lots and lots of science lessons. And those are great for you to go over. So once you've used the revision list on the school website, you have made sure that you understand the topics that are going to be tested. Then you need to repeat and practice what you've learned. Some bits will be harder than others, but don't give up. So where can you find resources to help you practice? Well, again, in your class teams, you'll find lots and lots of information. On the BBC Bitesize website, once you have revisited the content, there are quizzes on there to help test you, and you can keep going back over those. Educate is our online homework platform, and Educate has quizzes that you can set yourself. It's an intelligent platform, so what that means is that it will give you what you're good at and what you're weakest at, and you can then set yourselves questions according to your weakest parts, and that will help you improve. Also on the Continuity Oak website, once you've studied the lessons, you'll find there lots of quizzes and questions to help you practice. Now in science, we have command words telling us, instructing us what to do in the question. It might be that the question's a define question, so stating what a word might mean. It might mean that the question is an explain question. So that is a state and say why, and it's going to be at least 2, if not 3 or 4 marks. You might be seeing a describe question, and that is asking you to say what you think something means. Now, you might want to do a diagram or a sketch graph to help you with your description. And you also will get information in tables and graphs, which you might need to explain or analyse. And so use the information in the question carefully. Read the command words, read the questions carefully, and make sure you're getting as many marks as you can by understanding what is asked of you. You're also going to have knowledge organisers. Those knowledge organisers in your exercise book are going to be useful. If you haven't got those, speak to your teacher. And don't forget, science isn't just about knowledge, it's about practical skills too. So think about the skills that you've learnt and what you've been doing, what you've been measuring, what you measure with, why do we repeat? Look at how the tables are drawn with quantities and units. Think about how to plot graphs and what graphs tell us the stories that they give us. And finally, good luck in your science exams. Look to the school website if you want any more information, or just ask your teachers. Thank you.